Right now we're in downtown Toronto on Yonge and Davenport, and as you can see, I'm in front of a Masonic temple. But that's not all it is. Check this out. That's right, as you can see, this Masonic temple is actually MTV Studio. MTV Studios actually bought this Masonic temple to shoot programming in there. And this is just additional information to help you understand everything that we've been talking about in the videos, how they actually try to tap into this occult power so that they can influence our minds with this media. That's what's going on right here behind us at this MTV Studio building, which is nothing more than a Masonic temple. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. This thing is simple.
When they do the symbol, because a lot of in the media, I don't know if they're still doing that today in the land of the living, but I know what I experienced when I went down there. They call themselves elites, and what it means is the elites of like the satanic kingdom, and they do this thing with all-seeing eye. As you notice, you know, in the past I had that all-seeing eye too, because I had to become one of them in order to come back and expose them, you see. So this wickedness, and for a while they try to keep me silent, but I'm like, wait a minute, you know, Satan's a liar, because he just wants me to be silent, because we keep living in today's world, the land of the living, and there's no justice anywhere. Like, where's the God of justice, right? It's because I kept silent all these years, but I'm not gonna keep silent no more. But what goes on down there in Hollywood, I don't know if it's still going on today, because I don't want to accuse nobody, but what I saw, you know, I pray that everybody out there repents, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You know, and they have lots of sex, child trafficking rings, and they even have their own churches, but they're very satanic churches, and they do abominations. You know, they sodomize each other. I'm not going to get into details because it's so traumatizing to what I saw and experienced down there. But you know, the more power you have, the more fame you get, the more depraved things you have to do. So I don't know if they still do that today, like I said, but God our Father knows, God in heaven knows, the cloud of witnesses knows. So I pray, Heavenly Father, that if these things still go on out there, all over the world, all these elites, whatever they're trying to do like this, to be quiet, you know, that you will bring exposure to them and bring swift justice to the children's lives that were sacrificed, the children that are molested, because they often, you know, they were even like molesting 3-year-olds, and then they're asking me like, can we go even like lower, meaning like, can we have with a baby? And it was just so disgusting, guys. This is why I'm so traumatized, because like, oh, I can't believe, you know, it's very traumatizing. I can't even talk about it because it's so nasty. But you know, in the Illuminati world, Hollywood, if you're still doing that today, I pray that Lord Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, that you apprehend these criminals and bring them to justice, the ones who sacrifice babies, rape children, even in the government realm, the government officials, you know. But I don't know about the land of the living, but I'm going to have to testify anyways, because this is what I saw. It's like this huge, massive, worldwide elites. They call themselves, and they molest children, they, you know, sacrifice. It's just nasty, guys. I can't even... But anyways, I gotta testify this so that there's truth and justice to be had in the land.
Megan
Yes,
Fox
drink
is
each
a
other's
demon.
blood might mislead people, or like people are imagining us with like goblets and we're like Game of Thrones drinking each other. It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled, where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
I love babies. Oh yeah, they love sucking babies. I mean, I do too though, because I have an iron deficiency, so it tastes good. Like, do you guys like the taste of blood? Do you? Does anyone here like the taste of blood? Because I like it. I like the taste of blood.
You tell us the secret about Steven Spielberg. He eats babies.
whole babies.
And that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves.
My brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, and most high.
Good evening, godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon! Making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside the Kodak Theater, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gates. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates.
People come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus.
I'm thankful to the Oscar God.
The other names that are all gods as far as the category goes.
When you get this little golden statue, you become a star. In the Egyptian culture, they also had a little statue that represented the god Ptah. And see, when an Egyptian king died, it was believed that his spirit went into the belt of Orion, and he then became a star. Up until 1999, the Oscars was held at a building called the Shrine, which was founded by William Florence and Walter Fleming, two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested in Freemasonry. Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney, Oliver Hardy, you name it, the list goes on. Many celebrities have come out and admitted their connection to Freemasonry. You can see the checkered floor, you can see the archways, you can see the sun motif in the background. All of these are letting you know exactly who owns this organization.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight, the babies we eat.
People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Roman Pharaoh. He's coming for it. He's coming for it. Talking of all you, it was a big year for our movies. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. Fifth time, and it's still more fun than this. Okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, the opportunity didn't work itself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. I'm meant to present my star in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like Working Class Harvey Weinstein. You did it! I didn't, you did it!
Served. So they were always trying to call for pizzas. And you can't order a pizza plate.
How was the pizza? Was it good? He made pizza was better than food. Everybody made it for a certain kind of thing.
There's no pizza we didn't want.
Something
kick him back at his house, watch a movie, and he'd order a load of pizzas. You know.
Gerald Ford is not a pedophile per se. He's what I refer to as trisexual. He'll try anything. Any age, anybody, anytime, anywhere, just as long as he had control. Because he had a perversion of power, in addition to his interest in mind control. Therefore, it was Gerald Ford who came out to our house and explained to my father how to raise me in the project according to government specifications. My father had been caught sending this child pornography through the U.S. mails, and therefore he was approached and told that if he sold me into that project, that he would gain immunity from prosecution. My father remains free from prosecution to date for so-called reasons of national security. Once my father agreed to sell me into the project, I was taken routinely to Mackinac Island, Michigan, which is a political retreat where the Michigan governor's mansion is located. It was a bohemian grove of sorts where politicians met and discussed New World Order controls, where they discussed mind control of the masses, mind control in the school systems, how to use occultism as a trauma base. One of my sexual abusers at that time was the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau is a professed Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits are an intelligence arm of the Catholic Church. Pierre Trudeau represented this criminal faction of the Catholic Church, of the Jesuits, who believed in mind control of the masses because they wanted to be the one world church in the New World Order.
Sure. We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem that she wrote in 9th grade. Actually, not in 9th grade, when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but can I maybe just give it a sample? Yeah, give a sample. Okay. It was written, the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast, if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of toppings. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum. It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with them.
Christ did not die for Lucifer. He did not cover Lucifer. And there's a hatred for the offspring, enmity with God. There's a hatred that our sons and daughters could choose Jesus and be adopted back to the table which Lucifer once sat at.
I hit the wrong scene. Spoiler alert. Playing Terraria. I'm doing more than just play Terraria, though. I'm going to react to stuff, do commentary stuff, while I'm playing Terraria slowly. I'm just gonna chill, play Terraria. It's gonna be a great time. I'm use this a little bit. I changed my setup a little bit. I kind of like how I got it. Let me get to it. Haha, there we go. Fun. Fun, fun. That's not what I need up there. I need a new window. That's what I need. Move stuff out my way. I was not prepared. I didn't think that I was going to be able to stream. And then the internet worked. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess here we go then. So, I guess here we go then. Bookmarks. I got some stuff bookmarked, but I'm going to check YouTube first. See what we got going on the tubes. Don't forget to like the video if you're jumping in right now. I'm just going to look through. What is this? History of racist adverts. Good on that for now. I'll probably watch that on my own time. That one's too long. I'd probably watch that one on my own time too. I also make all my videos using Linux. I'm doing this stream on Linux right now. Linux Mint, to be exact. And I like it way more than using Windows. 4 months ago, Completionist is back. Tectone's life is ruined. Yeah, kind of did that to yourself. Logan Paul just destroyed his reputation. Well, he didn't really have a reputation to begin with that was very good. When did he ever have a good reputation? Why moms are boycotting Frida Baby? Don't know what that is. Yeah, YouTube's feeding me a whole bunch of nothing. Harbinger experiment. It's an hour and a half. Can't do that on stream. The CD comeback. I hope they make CDs better. If they have CDs come back. I'd be fine with even like cassette tapes. It's feeding me a whole bunch of old videos. I guess I might have to go into the subscriptions feed, see what I got going. I need to remember that I can just click the Terraria button to have music play. Elder Scrolls 6. Don't really care all that much. Billie Eilish situation. Don't care about Billie Eilish either. Obnoxious streamer gets knocked the fuck out. What happened here? I understand.
So there's this shitty ass interaction that happened on Twitter earlier. I'm gonna go show you. Go ahead and show you guys the clip from this guy called Dean the Great. Punched him in after he got disrespected. So let's pull this shit up, see what happened.
I said straight up.
Are you the guy that got slapped on video?
I did, but I'll slap the shit out you though.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you the inside of the house.
I'll make you another clip. Don't do that.
Seriously?
Don't do that.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Okay.
Oh man, he got fucked up.
He got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Talk all that
That was like a professional slap.
Man!
Knuckle
Brother
slap.
fucked around, found out. Dropped like a sack of potatoes. I want to remind you, homeboy on
He
the
could have
left
died.
is, what's his name again? Larry Wheels, which I believe is a UFC fighter.
Yeah, that's
For
crazy.
anybody who's thinking that that was a punch, that was not a punch. I'm going to play this in slow motion so you can actually see what it was.
Was it a slap?
Don't do that.
Regular slap without knuckles?
Seriously?
Don't do
Ready?
that.
Look at how fast. That was an elbow, brother.
Shit.
Yep. That's not Larry Wheels? Okay, sorry. But this guy's a UFC fighter. That was a elbow. Oh, yeah. Oh, and elbows are gonna fuck you up. We'll find out the exact identity of this guy.
Is he
very
gonna
soon.
get
Let's
charged
go
for
on in.
that?
Larry Wheels, the guy that slapped him. Gotcha.
Alright. Come on, cuz. Come on.
Bro got dropped and is still trying to fucking farm aura by being hard. Bro's been dropped 3 times in the past 48 hours.
No.
Really? Is he just on his getting knocked the fuck out art?
You hear those Chinese fighting noises he's making, bro, thinking that he's hard? That's so embarrassing, bro.
No.
He definitely gonna be getting brain damage.
No, fuck cut. Fuck cut, nigga.
Gets pulled back by one girl. Another aura loss, bro. Holy shit.
The kind of shit you gotta do to get famous.
Dean, chill. Man, fuck cut. He gonna sneak me, nigga. Chill out, man, Cut ain't finna sneak me, nigga. Chill, bro. Whole ass, nigga.
Hey, let me talk to you, bro.
The fuck?
Let me talk to you, bro.
Insane.
Bitch ass, nigga.
Hey, let me talk to you.
Yeah, maybe if we say the N-word more, we'll farm aura. I swear to God, bro. There's so many black streamers who just spam that word 30 times a fucking second. Like, Jesus Christ. We get it. You can say the word. Like, bro, are you like a robot? Are you an NPC? Is that the
Yes.
only word you know? Like, you gotta say the N-word 100 times, then you'll be able to go, like, super N-word 3? Like, what the fuck is this, man? Come on.
And I'll have all, man, I'll have all.
It's like those NPC streamers from back in the
Does that
day.
upset you? No. But what it does do is it tells me exactly what type of person that I'm dealing with. And if someone spams the N-word 100 times in 30 seconds to seem intimidating, I'm like, oh, okay. Gotcha. I have everything I need to know.
Stop choking me, nigga. Hey, take it back. Take it back. We're not your enemies, bro.
The fuck cut stop me for, bro?
What happened?
Why did Cuz stop me? Because your ass got dropped on the floor in one hit. That's why, bro. So you don't get fucked by this dude again.
You might have brain damage from that. You don't know. Probably do. He probably got brain damage anyway.
That is so fucking funny. Bro's mad because they saved him. It's so embarrassing. Bro, happened twice in 24 hours. Dean's really on a speedrun to see how many people he can get to hit him in 48 hours. Never seen someone taking 3 L's in a row. Gets bitched by homeboy, gets slapped in the face by bro, gets knocked the fuck out by this dude. Actually insane. And the worst thing is, yeah, he verbally threatened him. He has no grounds to sue. And if he does, that's another aura loss because he provoked a dude into fighting him. Said that he was going to drop him. I mean, look at this shit.
I did, but I'll slap the shit out you, though.
Oh, you will? I'm going to show you the inside.
Yeah, that's a threat.
I'll make you another clip. Don't do that.
Threatens his ass, tries to walk away after threatening him.
Don't do that.
Oh, God damn, that feels
I
good,
can see why
bro.
this got age restricted.
Don't do that.
Well,
Seriously?
Don't do that.
there goes the YouTube clip.
One hit, you can literally hear his brain breaking inside of his skull, bro. Shit like this is fucking beautiful, bro. Let's find out what the rating is.
All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line.
Yep.
That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out.
Exactly.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Yeah, I would say he fucked around at a solid 7.5 to 8. You know, I mean, the fuck around, find out charts are through the fucking roof. Anyways, so
I thought the
as
knockout
people
was 10 out of 10.
People got to make this a race thing. They have to make this a race thing. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. His name is Poetic Flacco. He says, honest, right hand to God, I would have killed this white man. Why are you mentioning that he's white? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? This guy once again has to make it about race, has to make it about white man and how much he doesn't like white man. And, you know, God knows to not put me in situations like this. So let me get this right. So this guy goes up to a dude and says he's going to fucking physically assault him. And you're saying because he defended himself that you would kill him. Very interesting. Anyways, I went to Poetic Flacco's
Yeah, these people are insane.
YouTube channel, did a little bit of research just to find out who this big, scary killer guy is going to be. So we put up his recent video, and, well, this is him. Just about the most unintimidating man I've ever seen in my entire life. So, of course, we had to go ahead. We had to roast him a little bit. Right hand to God, I would kill this white man. Obviously referencing post-time Skip Urkel thinks he's tough. You don't know Steve Urkel.
Oh, damn.
Family Matters. Great show. Family Matters.
Calling him
Steve
Urkel.
Urkel. Had to go ahead and give him a little bit of roasting there. As you can tell, the resemblance is unfucking canny.
The funny thing is, his name is, what is it? Michael Jaleel White.
Really is. The resemblance is fucking uncanny. Anyways, here's a better idea. If you don't want to find out, don't fuck around. And I hope you all enjoyed that shit. It is beautiful when you can see karma enacted in real fucking time. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
I enjoyed it very much. I love seeing retards getting what's coming to them. Not even really getting what's coming to him. He literally asked for it. Oh well. Oh well. I reacted to that already myself without Asmongold. Let's check my bookmarks. He fucked up. Who fucked up? He got caught. Oh, shit. Somebody got caught. No, it was the Stephen Colbert thing. Okay. All right. Are you going to start? Why didn't it start?
Stephen
There we
Colbert
go.
made up a bunch of fan fiction. They did. Made up a bunch of fan
Oh,
fiction.
shit.
This is the interview Donald Trump didn't want you to see. His FCC refused to air my interview with Stephen Colbert. Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas. So let's watch this. We'll see what happened.
James Tallarico.
I don't really know this guy that well.
There you go. Thank you.
I don't know who that is.
Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Tallarico. Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
Oh, blame Trump.
So
Okay.
that's it. So
Good
this
move.
guy, they
Good move.
basically went
Worked
out
in the
and
past.
said, let me see if I can pull this up. Where's the video if I can find it? Stephen Colbert. Where the fuck did it go? Yeah, there it is. Pulled from TV over FCC Equal Time. And so our campaign raised $2.5 million, etc.
It's a lot of money.
Oh, here we go. This is the FCC talking about it.
You had a Democrat candidate who understood the way that the news media works. And he took advantage of all of your sort of prior conceptions to run a hoax, apparently for the purpose of raising money and getting clicks. And the
How
news
about
media
that?
played right into it. I think yesterday was a perfect encapsulation of why the American people have more trust in gas station sushi than they do in the national news media.
Pretty good analogy.
And this was very plainly an effort ginned up to get clicks and to raise money. And you guys ate it up like slop. And when it was pointed out that the facts were
he's using our
completely
words.
different
Ate it up
than
like
what
slop.
the fake news media was running with, nobody did like an about face and did a fact correction. They just pivoted and moved away. And again, I think this is why the American people simply don't trust the news media anymore.
Yeah, they just make up bullshit. That's the reason why.
Yep, exactly.
So basically, he tried to put out a narrative that Donald Trump tried to shut down this interview
I ain't
for
trusting shit.
whatever reason. And it was so bad, and it's so embarrassingly not true. Even Jasmine Crockett comes out and called them out for this. That's how bad this is.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided that they just didn't want to air. And this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been advice to just have me on, and then they could clear the issue. It was my understanding that someone somewhere decided we just don't want to do that, and instead we're going to just do it this way.
So basically, even she's coming out saying that this isn't true. And you have all these people. CBS refused to air this Colbert Report with Democrat James Tallarico, who's running for Senate, after being intimidated by Trump's FCC rules. Share it everywhere. This has 86,000 likes. Oh boy. And we'll go back. I'll read a few more of these here. But before I do it, a little neat trick. Federal law since 1932 required broadcast media to give equal time to competing political candidates, but Colbert only wanted to play.
So didn't I hear that that person made a whole bunch of money off of like donations and stuff? The person that was on the Stephen Colbert Report. Did I hear that correctly? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody please look that up. I'm going to try and look it up over here on this other monitor real quick.
Platform Tallarico and not the other opponents. So he interviews Tallarico but releases the video online only. Everyone who sees it thinks that it aired on the show. Colbert doesn't have to give them equal time because he has virtually no TV viewers anyway, and he reaches his maximum audience. Meanwhile, Tallarico falsely claims that he's being censored and gets free publicity 2 weeks out of his primary election, claiming that almost a century of federal law is somehow President Trump's fault. Wow, how about that? So Brian Retard, yeah, people just making up some fucking bullshit again. And so Stephen Colbert addresses,
They be making up bullshit.
CBS
They like to do that.
actually went out and made a statement about this. Well, let's listen to her talk about it again. Because, so Jasmine Crockett actually came out and said, no, actually, Trump didn't do anything wrong. It's not even true.
They name-checked you. I mean, they said this. The show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for two other candidates,
That's what CBS
including
said.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
That, what's his name? Tallarico? Yeah, apparently he got a whole bunch of new donations and stuff for whatever he was getting donations from. It's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
What do you make of that explanation?
And this has been the law for 100 years, since 1932. Okay, well, only 95 years.
We actually received a phone call, and that was a little bit earlier today. And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on. As you know, I've been on Colbert.
So basically, they were like, if you get this person on, you have to have this other person on also. And they were like, you're trying to shut us down, just because they didn't want the right-wing person on.
They're so fucking retarded. They've got you siding with Jasmine Crockett.
I don't know who that is.
crazy.
I've never heard of her before.
Multiple times. And frankly, and you know, if we would have gotten an offer, that would have been great. But we're in the middle of early voting, so I'm kind of focused on being in Texas at this moment.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know what to believe. That's for sure. But I got that phone
She's
call.
just mad she didn't get her time? No, she's responding to what they said. She's not, no. This isn't her coming out complaining. This is Colbert and this other guy bringing up this, making up a false narrative that then indirectly paints her in a bad light. She didn't even do anything.
As I was out talking to voters.
That's it. So there's so many things to talk to you about again, but they called you today, but they decided not to air the.
Actually, she did do something. She was against them. And that's the problem. You can't be against the Uniparty.
Interview last night.
Right.
You've been on Colbert a number of times, as you just said. Did you have any issue?
So there it is. And I completely agree. Sorry, I just read it poorly. What happened to her accent? Oh, well, she's not trying to perform, right? That's it. Tallarico gives me Antichrist vibes. I'll watch a little bit of it and see what happens. Colbert is such a fucking slime ball.
Vibes.
He fabricated the entire thing. Stop making me defend Jasmine Crockett. That's right, guys. It's actually that bad. And so Stephen Colbert, let me see actually. So CBS comes out because Stephen Colbert makes up this entire narrative. And I guess maybe he thought that, this is him talking about it. Okay, let's watch this first and then we'll watch CBS's response.
Not one of my guests tonight. That's Texas State Representative James Tallarico. He was supposed to be here, but we were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast. Then
complete misrepresentation. Total misrepresentation.
I was told in some uncertain terms
So
that not
full of
only
shit.
could I not have him on, I could not mention me not having him on. Wow. And because my network clearly doesn't want us to talk about this, let's talk about this.
Dude, so you basically, you didn't want to follow the federal law, the almost 100-year-old federal law, and you're inventing a total
Anything gonna happen? He broke federal law. Anything gonna happen, you think? Probably not. People are gonna talk about it. He might be drugged to court. Who knows? Doubt it. I highly doubt it.
fucking narrative about how they didn't want this guy on, and now you're pushing it against not only the FCC that aren't doing anything wrong, but also your own network too. This is crazy. Why would you do this? Very female coded. So true, sis. Oh, so true. You know, bro, the nastiest, cattiest bitch would absolutely do this. You're totally right.
You've probably heard.
You're right. No, you're right. It's true.
You might have heard of this thing called the equal time rule, okay? It's an old FCC rule that applies only to radio and broadcast television.
And what are you doing?
Not cable or streaming, that says if a show has a candidate on during an election, they have to have all that candidate's opponents on as well.
Yes.
It's the FCC's most time-honored rule right after no nipples at the Super Bowl.
So then now he's trying to make a joke out of it in order to make it seem like they're not holding it accountable and in order to like downplay its significance.
Also, he's basically saying that the government is silencing my free speech of not wanting to talk to the other side on a a news program, basically. Like, that should not be allowed.
There's long been an exception for this rule, an exception for news interviews and talk show interviews with politicians. Now, that's crucial.
Yes.
How else were voters supposed to know back in '92 that Bill Clinton sucked at saxophone?
He did not. Shut up, you idiot. You fucking retard. What are you talking about? He was so cool. What are you talking about? This guy was awesome.
He just wants to say bad things about Bill Clinton because it's cool to say bad things about Bill Clinton now. Part of the narrative.
Slick Willie. That's what they say. Boomers unironically felt. I mean, to be fair, this was cool.
Dang.
It was cool, man. This is the motherfucking president. The big man, there it is, right? He used to be so cool.
Not
so
bad.
you're gonna go around and you're gonna say that he sucked at saxophone?
Voters supposed to know back in '92 that Bill Clinton
up.
sucked at saxophone.
Yeah, he's full of
Oh,
shit.
bro. Like, what
Through
are
and
you
through.
even? You didn't have to do that.
But on January 21st of this year, a letter was released by FCC chairman and smug bowling pin Brendan Carr. In this letter, Carr said he was thinking about dropping the exception for talk shows because he said some of them were motivated by partisan purposes.
I've got a really funny fact for you guys. You guys want to see it? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this little funny fact
I like funny facts.
about it being partisan. So, my understanding is that since its inception, Stephen Colbert has had over 150 Democrat politicians on, and he's had one Republican politician on. Huh.
How about
X
that?
is down? Is that it? Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, he's
How about that?
he's not a news show. It's a comedy show about news.
X is down. Yeah, so he just making shit up. Yeah, it's motivated by partisan purposes because it is. Like, you're absolutely not biased. Yeah, he's totally fucking biased. Yeah, and it was Liz Cheney. That's right. That's who it was. It was Liz Cheney was the Republican that he brought on his show. So he just making a bunch of bullshit on. How many Democrats has right-wing radio gotten on? You can say right-wing radio is like I don't even. What is your argument? So I'm saying that Stephen Colbert is partisan, and then you say, well, what about partisan radio? Are you some kind of a retarded? What are you doing? What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, sir, you're chairman of the FCC, so FCCU.
It's so stupid. This Stephen Colbert used to be so cool.
Nah.
He was. He used to be so cool.
For
and
cable.
now he's not. Holy cortisol spike? I know.
Because I think...
No, guys, no.
Because I think-
know I'm being serious. I've got to make a big point here. No, we can't play music. No, this is really important.
You are motivated by partisan purposes yourself. Sir, You smelt it because you dealt it. You are Dutch ovening America's airwaves. Let's just call this what it is. Donald Trump's administration wants to silence anyone who says anything bad about Trump on TV because all...
That's how he gets them. He says a couple of things that they find funny, which they don't really find funny. They're just laughing because they think they're supposed to find it funny. And then he says a factual thing that's usually not true. And that's how he gets them. Then he goes right back into the funny. Nonsensical, usually pushes into the hateful jokes, making fun of people, insulting people.
If that's true, then why are you on the show? You've been on the show for fucking years. You said Donald Trump was sucking Putin's dick, and this was like 8 years ago. You've been on TV forever, man. Like, what do you mean? Like, god damn. Like, what are you talking about? Not cool, he's not sharing your political values? Well, no. I mean, I think that, like, I think that the Colbert Show was way funnier. I think he had way better charisma. He had way better guests on the show. He was less sanctimonious. I think he was more entertaining. The jokes were better. Like, I mean, I think there's a lot more to this than just simply, oh.
I think corporate media got man. I think foreign actors got involved and they got him.
Oh, I disagree with them. No, it's a lot more complicated than
like
that.
China,
so
Israel,
anyway,
Saudi Arabia.
I see him do this and say this shit. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And the thing is that a lot of these late night TV shows are partisan. They absolutely, they are unabashedly partisan. If you look at Jimmy Kimmel is going to, or maybe it's Jimmy Fallon, I forget which one, is going to like media fundraisers for Democrats. Like, it's not like these people are like just funny guys that are just there to tell jokes. No, they're there to patronize and tell people what to think.
Yep.
Like, what are you talking about? Oh, bad take. I'm going to pull you up. You're getting pulled up right now. Give me a minute.
They got to insult the right people and they got to glaze the right people.
Oh, Stephen Colbert was never funny. I don't want to argue with you about that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's just my opinion. Priest, yeah, no, it's all right.
All Trump does is watch TV. Okay?
No, he doesn't.
He's like a toddler with too much.
He doesn't even really watch TV. I think he kind of plays it in the background on a TV. And most of his news, it actually comes from people just telling him things. And that's why he thinks that everybody in his cabinet's great, because his cabinet says they're doing great work, but they just can't get anything done. They just can't get anything done. Even though they keep lying about everything.
Much screen time. He gets cranky and then drops a load in his diapers. So it's no surprise.
They just won't get off of the Trump shitting himself thing, even though that definitely did not happen. I don't get it. There's no evidence. They just started saying it. And it's like supposed to be funny and an insult and demeaning towards Trump, and it's not even true.
It's no surprise that two of the people most affected by this threat are me and my friend Jimmy Kimmel. When this letter dropped,
his friend,
yeah,
they're all friends.
You guys are partisan, and everybody knows you're partisan. Like, it's obvious that you're partisan. You push politics constantly. Trump is the main thing that you talk about. You're constantly pushing against him. You obviously advocate for Democrats pretty much universally. Like, it's obvious that you're doing this. Like, I don't know why. Just say that you're doing it. Like, it's.
And he works for the corporate media, so you shouldn't trust him. I don't know how anybody trusts anybody in the corporate media. I really don't get it. Because it's obvious, there's obvious evil shit, especially with the Epstein files. And you look at all the investors and who's invested in all the news corporations. And it's all, if they're not in the Epstein files, they have ties to people who are in the Epstein files. Or they're doing very, very similar shit.
So weird that, like, we have to, like, why are you even playing this game? Everybody knows this is what's happening.
we both talked about the letter on air, and then later, Carr defended it like this.
If Kimmel or Colbert want to continue to do their programming and they don't want to have to comply with this requirement, then they can go to a cable channel or a podcast or a streaming service, and that's fine.
Great idea, man whose job is to regulate broadcast TV. Suggest everyone just leave broadcast TV.
That's what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
That's exactly it.
It's like when our
people like Colbert are ruining broadcast TV. Of course he doesn't want him there. Like, why would he? He wants broadcast TV to exist. And I'm not going to go to broadcast TV, and I would if it was better.
Arby's changed their slogan to Arby's, would it kill you to eat a salad? Anyway, am I being clear? Have I been clear so far? Yes, indeed. Okay, this one up. Super important. Okay. Anyway, I decided to take Brendan Carr's advice. I am going to interview James Tallarico tonight, but...
Well, you're also taking his advice by leaving the media because your show's getting canceled, too. Don't forget about that.
It's not going to be on The Late Show. It's going to be on The Late Show's YouTube page. The network says I can't give you URL or a QR code, but I promise you, if you go to our YouTube page, you'll find it.
Jesus Christ. So the entire narrative was fabricated by him. And then he came out and did this. He threw his network under the bus. He made Jasmine Crockett, like, basically...
Well, he knows he's leaving. He's going to burn everything down on the way out. I don't know why they even allow him to stay up, even though he knows he's on his way out. It's just going to get worse. It seems like such an L.
Have to come out and make a statement about this. He also lied to his audience. He bullshitted everybody about this. So CBS just threw Stephen Colbert under the bus and says he lied when the network spiked his interview with James Tallarico. The late night show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Representative James Tallarico. The show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for the other candidates, including Representative Jasmine Crockett, and presented options for how the equal time for other candidates could be fulfilled. The Late Show's decided not to present the interview through its YouTube channel with on-air promotion on the broadcast rather than potentially providing the equal time options. So that's basically, and then so Stephen Colbert comes back and he responds to this. He addresses the CBS statement, which he says that he was not consulted on. Why the fuck would they consult you on this? Like, you just made up a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, he thinks that he's important, and he thinks that he's it should have a say in the matter, even though he just keeps fucking everything up at every turn. And I think they're really trying. I think they're really trying with him. I think they know that they're falling apart and they got to do something, and they know that Stephen Colbert is a huge problem.
About them. Like, I'm just, he
They
says,
can't get
I'm
rid of
just
them,
so
though.
surprised that this giant global corporation would not stand up to these bullies. For the lawyers to release this without talking to me is really surprising. Didn't you just release this without talking to them? You just threw them under the bus, and now you're surprised that they're saying, well, that's not what
I wonder who the real bully is here.
Like, so you lied about them, and then you act like you're the victim whenever they
Right.
correct the lie. This is the craziest thing. How is this even real? You probably have one people watch the old guy. I don't know. Like, let me see. How long is the interview? Let's see how long it is. If it's less than, it's 15 minutes. Okay, we'll watch the interview. And I'll see what he's saying, and we'll see if it was worth airing or not. It's 50. It's terrible. That's okay. We'll look at it. We'll see what it is. It's not a big deal. These people are too high up. He's liberal. Did you expect different? Well, he's making a bunch of bullshit. A lot of people are, spoiler, it's not worth it. Is it that bad? Check the dislikes. It's going to be on his own channel. People are going to like the interview, right? Yeah, everybody liked it. Yeah, sure. But people really don't want to see this. Wow. I'm surprised, actually. Don't platform his lying ass. Like, I don't even get this. So then he made up a bunch of
Not one of my
bullshit.
guests tonight. That's Texas.
Let me at least see a couple of clips, right? I want to at least see a couple of clips of what he's saying. I think that's fair. I'm curious. He's hard to listen to? I don't know that because I haven't listened to him. Let me go back. I'll see where the fuck it is. And, oh, is this one of them? Trump? No, there's this. Well, okay, here we go. There's a couple of these right here, right? And is there anything else beyond this? Okay. Well, at least watch this one. It's a 1-minute clip. I've never heard this guy talk. I've never heard him say anything. Let's hear what he said.
Me neither. It's first for me.
Well, for 50 years, the religious right, a political movement, that is the perfect description for it. They convinced a lot of our fellow Christians that the most important issues were abortion and gay marriage. 2 issues that aren't mentioned in the Bible, 2 issues that Jesus never...
I mean, do you think that Jesus would want abortions? I mean, I'm pro-choice, but, like, I don't think...
It is in the Bible. It is in the Bible. And these people, they don't read the Bible, and they like to bring up the Bible. Even if we were wrong, they still have no right.
Jesus would be. Like, I mean, obviously, right? I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about?
You don't know. He's just saying shit that
of course
his base likes him to say. They like to hear this shit because they're demons. They're anti-Christian. And if they're not demons, they side with the demons.
Didn't talk about abortions because they didn't talk about the internet in the Bible either. Like,
Jesus in Matthew 25 tells us exactly how you and I and every one of our fellow believers...
I bet he looked that up with AI beforehand. No shot that he actually knew that off the top of his head. He studied it for the interview.
How we're going to be judged and how we're going to be saved. By feeding the hungry, by healing the sick, by welcoming the stranger. Nothing about going to church, nothing about voting Republican.
Yeah.
It was all about how you treat other people. Don't. I've said before, don't.
It says multiple times throughout the Bible to go to church. This guy is just straight up lying. Well, there's just lies all throughout this.
Don't tell me what you believe. Show me how you treat other people, and I'll tell you what you believe. And I think
that's insane.
In our faith, we've got to get back to those fundamentals. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas.
Oh boy!
And when I was little, he told me that Christianity is a simple religion, not an easy religion. He would always clarify, but a simple religion because Jesus gave us 2 commandments: love God and love neighbor. And there was no exception to that second.
There were a lot more than 2 commandments. Let me tell you.
Commandment. Love.
Well, if somebody is far away, isn't your neighbor?
There's even the 10 commandments isn't even all the commandments. There's more commandments than that. The 10 commandments are the 10 commandments. There's a lot more.
Like, I mean, duh. Right? So, like, yeah, I think you're supposed to help your neighbor, but you're not supposed to help the guy on the other side of the world. Like, I mean, fucking obviously. I mean, it's common sense.
Love thy neighbor regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation or immigration status or religious affiliation. And it's why I have fought so hard for the separation of church and state in this.
These people are so dishonest.
Wait a minute. You just spent 1.5 minutes explaining why the Bible says that people should vote for you, but now you're talking about separation of church and state?
And that's not even what separation of church and state was for. That was so that the state doesn't start manipulating the church and vice versa at the same time. It had nothing to do with the church getting into the state.
What the hell are you talking about?
State capital in Texas because...
Oh my God.
These morons clap
Well, anyway,
for 'em.
so what do I think about this? I think this is your typical Christian, like basically heretic slop.
Yep.
That's what I think. Jesus didn't say anything about abortions. I wonder what Jesus would think about abortions. Like, really, let's think about this for 3 seconds. what would Jesus think about abortions?
I
And this is
wonder.
coming from somebody who I think you should be able to get abortions. But if you ask me what Jesus would think, I think he'd probably say they're bad. It's the same as like, what would Jesus think about sharing pictures of underage girls on the internet? I bet he'd probably say that was bad. Oh, but it wasn't in the Bible. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Like, you think about everything else. You use some context clues and think about it rather than trying to insert your own politics into the fucking Bible. It's insane.
That they've never read.
Would Jesus want you to make deep fakes of people against their consent? Well, he never said against that in the Bible, so I guess it must be okay. There's a million fucking examples of things that Jesus didn't talk about. Jesus said AK-47s must be okay because they weren't in the Bible. This is the dumbest
Nuclear
argument that you can
bombs.
possibly use. And on top of that, like, and all of this is underpinned by the idea that maybe we shouldn't base the way that we do things off of a religion. There should be a logical reason, and if there's a religious component to that, that's nice that there's that too, but it should not be the main focus. So what would Jesus do about Skid Row and all the homeless people there? He would help the homeless people in Skid Row.
I think rather than having a government based on my religion, we should have a government that would allow me to practice my religion as I see fit, as long as it literally was not hurting people.
Before he went over and brought over a bunch of illegals from Mexico. That's the problem, is that you can't even deal with the homeless people that are in America, but you have this idea that it's a good thing to keep bringing in illegals to from another country. Like, I don't think anybody disagrees that Jesus would very easily say that if everybody in America was taken care of, that we have an obligation to help the rest of the world. I think this is a very easy Christian logical conclusion that you can make, and I think that it's accurate, and I think that's totally fine. But the problem is that whenever you're making this assumption like basically in place of making this for your actual, your countrymen, because again, everything exists inside of a spectrum, right? So like, you're going to care about yourself, you're going to care about your family, you're going to care about your friends, you're going to care about your community, you're going to care about your country, you're going to care about the world. This is the way that everything works, and it's the way that even, anybody would see this. So the problem is that, yeah, the care map, exactly. So the problem is that...
Why kill ourselves trying to save the world right now when we are not capable of doing that? We haven't trained long enough, when we could just wait just a little while, train a little bit, figure out what we could do better, and then fix ourselves. Then we can tackle fixing the world.
Whenever you're misappropriating what I think to be, Christian scripture and, Christian ideology to try to force people to accept illegal aliens, I think it's just ridiculous, and it's totally unfair because, again, if you're supposed to love your neighbor, then why are you having your neighbor have to compete with an illegal alien for their house?
I believe in separation of church and state. Also, I'm going to use the Bible to tell you why I'm going to do this thing in the state.
It doesn't make any sense. And the problem is, like, it's this misappropriation and this misleading behavior that I think is a huge problem. It's a massive issue. And so, there's some other one. And also gay marriage. I mean, I don't think people really care a lot about gay marriage. But fascism is here. CBS is dead.
I don't care about gay marriage because I think that marriage should not even be a thing involving the government. I think that you should just get a minister, go out into the woods and get married. Don't tell nobody about it except for the witnesses who are there. It's between you, your partner, and God. And leave the government out of it completely, because they're trying to get theirs. They're trying to get something out of it, man.
It's fascist. This is a law that's been these people are so fucking hysterical. It's unbelievable. Oh my God. It's virtue signaling and moral grandstanding. I think so too. Gotta love fake Christians, same as Muslims. Well, the problem is that this is the issue that I have with people like James, I don't know if I really have an issue with James Tallarico. I don't really know him that well. I've seen one clip. I disagree with what he's saying in the clip, but
I can tell you I'm probably not going to like most people who are going on to Stephen Colbert's show and are getting gassed up by Stephen Colbert. I can tell you that that's already ringing red flags.
the one thing that I don't like about what he was saying is that I think a lot of people work backwards from scripture, is that they have their political viewpoints and they have their political goals, and then they appropriate scripture and religious texts in order to reinforce those political goals and those political viewpoints. And I think that is a backwards way of looking at religion. I think that what you should do is you should look at what the religion says and you should see how your political viewpoints fit into the religion, rather than seeing your political viewpoints and trying to fit the religion around those. I think it's disrespectful to the religion, and I think that it's also dishonest, and in some cases, like what I think he's saying about abortion, I think it's basically heresy. It is. Like, I mean, it's saying that
True.
Jesus wouldn't care. Like, the implication is that Jesus wouldn't care about abortions. What are we talking about here? It's just such a blatant
dishonest.
lie. I don't even know why you would say it. Selective religious principles? Yes, exactly. It's heretic slop. Yes, it's brain dead, libtard, Christian heretic slop. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of those. I'll move that into this folder. Delete that. This one's crazy. So Steam is facing a $900 million lawsuit. That's basically $1 billion. That could change gaming forever. That's insane. I'm gonna slap a like on her.
Steam just lost a major legal motion which can end up costing them close to $1 billion. But there's a whole lot at stake here, because right now this case is challenging the rules that Steam has set for PC gaming over the last 20 years. And this can actually reshape the entire PC gaming industry depending.
I think Steam is pretty much perfect and it's only getting better, and these giant corporations, they can't handle it, so they're going to do anything they can to try and kill it, or to slow it down, or shitify it in some way, get their hands all over it, possibly take it over or shut it down or something. They just can't allow it to exist because it's absolutely embarrassing them. They don't know what to do. They can't handle it, man. They make too much money and they don't have very many people working on it. They can't break through. I love Steam. I love Steam so much. I hope that they don't fail. I've been trying to buy more games on GOG. Those GOG sales, they're pretty good for those old games. I've been getting really into boomer shooters here recently. I bought Doom 1 and 2 and Duke Nukem 3D on Steam. Unfortunately, I didn't get them on GOG. Probably should. Because, Steam, they're really going hard after Steam.
Depending on how all of this plays out. So back in June of 2024, a woman named Vicky Shotbelt, who runs an organization that focuses on children's digital safety, she filed a lawsuit against Valve in the UK's Competition Appeal Tribunal. Vicky has spent roughly 2 decades working in digital rights advocacy, and for this case, she's even established a dedicated legal entity to represent the UK consumers through a collective action. And here in her lawsuit, she's going after Valve for roughly 656 million Great British pounds, which is about
crazy.
$900 million on the behalf of an estimated 14 million people in the United Kingdom who've purchased games and add-on content on Steam since June of 2018. Okay, first of all, that's insane. That's a crazy amount of potential claimants, because in practice, what this means is if Valve were to actually lose this case, the money wouldn't go to Vicky herself. In theory, the money would be distributed across roughly 14 million.
I think the point is to waste resources and time and make sure that they can do whatever they can to at least slow them down if they can't win and waste money.
Million UK Steam users, which gives each user the grand sum of somewhere between 22 and 44 Great British pounds. That is just a theory of what could happen, not a guaranteed payout or split. But a key detail here is this kind of lawsuit in the UK is an opt-out, not opt-in, which means that if you're a UK resident who bought stuff on Steam during this time frame, you're already a part of this lawsuit, unless you specifically say that you don't want to be involved. Now, obviously, Valve were not going to just not fight back, so they filed to get this entire case dismissed before it could even go to trial, essentially arguing a whole bunch of technical points about why it shouldn't qualify as a collective action. They also said the methodology for calculating damages were also flawed, and that it would be impossible to properly identify who should get compensated, and the whole economic analysis behind the case just didn't hold up. The court, however, actually ruled with Shotbolt's team, and just a couple of weeks ago, the Competition Appeal Tribunal issued a ruling that rejected Valve's objections and greenlit the lawsuit to proceed. They acknowledged that, yeah, some of the economic analysis is complicated, but that's definitely not a valid reason to completely end the case at this stage. Now, the core argument of this lawsuit comes down to three major allegations, apparently all from how Valve uses Steam's massive market dominance. First up, so we have price controls. The lawsuit here claims that Valve enforces what's called platform parity obligations, basically rules that prevent game developers from selling their games cheaper on other platforms. So if you're a developer and you want your game on Steam, you allegedly aren't allowed to sell the game cheaper on any other platforms like Epic Games Store or on your own website than what it's sold for on Steam. Now, to somewhat verify that, Valve's public...
I could see how that'd be a problem. Yeah, they charge full price for a game, but they could be like, but hey, if you come over to Epic Games, we'll give it to you for $20 less. And all of our games are $20 less over there on Epic Games or our own service, whatever it may be. Who knows, man? Who knows? That sounds like very, very slippery territory either way. I don't know. I couldn't imagine operating a multi-billion-dollar, going on trillion-dollar gaming corporation.
Public guidelines do mention that if developers run sales or discounts on Steam keys sold through their websites, they need to offer similar deals to people buying directly on Steam within a reasonable amount of time. And the exact phrasing they use is that developers should not give Steam customers a worse deal than what's available anywhere else. But whether that's a suggestion or an enforced requirement is a part of what this lawsuit is trying to establish. And the reason indie studios would often want to sell outside of Steam is because of Steam's 30% commission on sales. But I guess to counter that, Steam is by far the best gaming platform. They've built a community and an ecosystem like no one else, which I guess is why they can justify the 30% fee. Like, for example,
I think GOG is better, honestly. I think what GOG is better. I wish that they had an app like Steam, but I hate Steam's app. I hate their ecosystem. I mean, it's all right. It's better than anything else, but I could imagine it being better. But GOG is just so bare bones. That's why I like it. I wish there was a more bare bones version of Steam. Didn't have so many features. I know you can build it yourself, but you know, I just ain't into it. I ain't gonna put that kind of time into it. I might pay somebody to do it someday. Who knows? I know how to do it. I'm just not gonna do it.
Been using Steam for like 16 years now, and throughout those years, I played a lot of games with a lot of friends. Number one, it's an awesome tool for me to keep in contact with old friends, but something I noticed is when you're
apparently they're doing better to be a competitor for Discord, and I'm gonna have to be checking that out. I'm gonna check out that Steam community tonight to see how the Steam Discord function works.
When your friends launch a game, you get this little pop-up on the corner of your screen on what they're playing, and that pop-up is genius because I found so many cool games just because I see friends of mine constantly playing some new game I haven't heard about. And I mean, I can't be the only one who bought games based on what my friends are playing. But the second major accusation is how DLC and add-on content work. Because, as the lawsuit puts it, when you buy a game on Steam, you're basically locked into buying all future DLC content through Steam as well. And you can't just buy a game on Steam and then grab an expansion pack from a different storefront like the Epic Games Store or so on. But I feel like this whole point is extremely...
Actually, There is a way you can do that. If you buy the game off of Steam, add it to Steam, then you can be able to do that and compile it all. You'd be playing it through Steam. That's a way to do it. Say if you get it from GOG.
Dumb, because this is not something that's exclusive to Steam. Pretty much every digital platform operates in this way. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Epic Games, like they're all built around the same idea. You have to buy all the DLC packages on top of the base game. Like let's say you bought Far Cry off of Ubisoft Connect, formerly known as Uplay, and then one of the DLCs off of the Epic Games Store. You wouldn't be able to launch the DLC from the Epic Games launcher without the base game itself being registered to your account. But also, I don't really see a point in buying your base game on either Steam or base game on Epic Games and then trying to buy the DLC on vice versa. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And ironically, the same game can actually behave very differently depending on the storefront.
Yep.
Like, PC ports on Epic Games and Steam, for some reason, aren't always identical, because there's been plenty of reports of crashes or bugs on Epic versions that simply don't happen on Steam for some reason. But moving on with the lawsuit then mentions that commission. Because, as I mentioned earlier, as of now, Valve takes a 30% cut of every sale that happens on Steam. So when you buy a game for like $20, roughly $6 go to Valve, and then $14 goes to the developer. Here, the lawsuit argues that this rate is unreasonably high, especially compared to newer competitors like Epic Games Store, which only charges 12%. They claim that Valve can keep this higher rate specifically because of their market dominance, and since developers just can't afford to not be on Steam, they have to accept this. But this is also a little bit tricky because just like the cross-store purchases thing, this is not exclusive to Valve and Steam. I would pretty much go as far to say that 30% rate is pretty industry standard because Apple charges 30% on the App Store, Google charges 30% on their Play Store, and even GOG, which has, you know, a reputation for being more developer friendly, still charges 30%. So the rate in itself isn't really unusual. And if they, you know, win based on how steep that rate is, what does it say for the rest of the, like, I guess we have to sue everyone then. But if this lawsuit succeeds, not only UK Steam users could actually receive some level of compensation for allegedly overpaying for games in recent years. And individually, that payout, it's not like it's going to be some life-changing money. It's going to be like, you know, $20 to $40. But obviously, when you combine, you know, $20 to $40 to every single person, it adds up to about $900 million, which is crazy because that's what they're seeking in the lawsuit. But I feel like a more significant issue isn't even the compensation itself. It's what a ruling like that could mean for how Steam operates going forward. Because if the court finds that Valve's business practices are genuinely anti-competitive, they could be ordered to make substantial changes. And most likely, those changes...
They want to be able to control what happens with Steam, what Steam does, what games are on Steam, the prices on Steam, the conversation on Steam, what games are on Steam. They have to control the narrative, and they have to control the entertainment and the culture. That's how they stay in power.
Wouldn't just be in the UK. But despite all that, there's still this one complicating factor in the case that might make the entire situation not as clean as it looks on paper, because Steam uses something called Steam keys, which are basically activation codes for games that developers can generate for free and sell whenever they want. That's at least my understanding of them. Because if you buy games on PC, you've probably seen a whole bunch of these third-party retailers like G2A and Kinguin and so on and so on. And the most important detail is that Valve doesn't take any commission on the Steam keys sales. So if a developer generates 1,000 Steam keys and sells them for whatever the price they want, Valve gets $0 from those transactions, and the buyer still downloads and plays the game through Steam. So they are still using Valve's servers and bandwidth and infrastructure. But here, Valve did not collect their 30% cut. Although, this is a little bit of a gray zone, because sometimes developers sell these keys, and sometimes these keys are leaked and then sold on these other websites. Because there's definitely been a whole bunch of scandals where stolen Steam keys are sold on these third-party websites. Now, this doesn't completely undermine the whole lawsuit, but it might undercut part of the claim, since there's already this massive side economy of game sales happening right now. And I guess another decent argument for Valve is they're pretty much getting sued for doing the things that are pretty much standard across the entire gaming industry. You know, the 30% commission. Almost every platform charges that. Keeping deals...
That's because that's not what they're getting sued for. What they're getting sued for on paper is not what they're trying to actually get done. They're trying to assert dominance, assert power, and try and figure out ways they can wiggle their way in, because with lawsuit comes things like well, there's Discovery for one, but they get a little bit of insight into the inner workings of how everything works at Steam.
DLC locked on the platform for the base game, like every major storefront works that way as well. Having pricing guidelines for developers, that's also pretty universal. But competition law, on the other hand, does treat companies differently based on their market position. So practices that would be totally fine for a smaller competitor is apparently a big no-no for a big guy. So it kind of seems like they're designed to be against the market leader. But obviously for it to be a no-no, it still requires them proving Steam has that level of dominance and that their practices are causing measurable harm. Now, the public opinion in this lawsuit doesn't seem as split as what I would have thought, at least, because some gaming news outlets ran a poll asking readers whether they thought Valve's business practices were anti-competitive, and something like 84% said no. And I feel like this is mirroring what's currently being said on Reddit. Because I mean, from a user experience, Steam has a lot of features that genuinely treat customers pretty well compared to other platforms, like a refund system, family sharing, the Steam Workshop, community features, and its ongoing support. I feel like it's kind of just a skill issue that Uplay or Uconnect suck that much. Epic Games is like okay at best.
Not to mention, like, the sheer amount of games that don't get removed. They don't change. I mean, sometimes they do with the big games, but generally with the games that are on Steam, they are unchanged. With platforms like EA, most games get changed on there because they're all EA games.
And don't even get me started on Origin. The only reason people used Origin or Uplay, which is now Uconnect, is because they were forced to use it. Steam earned it.
That's another reason. They don't have that branding down. They keep changing it because they suck.
Its dominant position by simply just being the best product for the longest time. Like, Epic Games has been dumping huge amounts of money into their store through exclusive deals and giving away games for free and only charging 12% on sales and all that stuff, but they still can't really compete with Steam in any meaningful way. Some people argue that the market will self-correct, like if Steam is genuinely overcharging, competitors will undercut them and slowly take away their user base. But of course, there are also those people who believe that the network effects and first mover advantages make meaningful competition nearly impossible without intervention. But I mean, in my opinion, it's a slippery slope when regulators choose the winners rather than us, the consumers. This is definitely not the first time something like this has happened, because the developer behind the game Overgrowth filed a similar lawsuit against Valve in the United States back in 2021. And there they made many of the same arguments, but that case got dismissed initially, but was refiled and achieved, I guess, a class action status. So now it's been slowly working its way through the courts, and it's been 5 years. So developers over the years have been grumbling about Valve, but overall, I mean, this process will likely take a long time to see anything happen. But it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, because depending on how it plays out, it can absolutely reshape the fundamentals of PC gaming for everyone, which is why I wanted to sit here and talk about it today. But other than that, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.
Yeah, it seems like it's just everything's getting shitified. I'm just gonna make my way into being able to have all of my games and nobody be able to take them away. They kind of can on Steam. Eventually, the games will be taken away. Eventually, they will take over Steam. We will lose it all. GOG is the way to go. You won't lose your games. If GOG falls, at least you'll know to download all your shit beforehand. Yep, let's get into some streamer drama. Apparently iDubbbz is being dumb again. Don't you just love it when iDubbbz is being dumb? I love it. Well, he's being done also. I love it when these streamers just crash the fuck out and totally ruin their lives and show everybody that they're really just lol cows. And the fact that they don't realize this solidifies it.
Welcome back to a series so sciencey. Even my boy Brian subscribed. In today's video,
That's a
A
scientist guy.
19-month subscriber asked Hassan to show his Twitch revenue to prove he's not botting, and he has a complete meltdown. Somebody
no.
doesn't want to expose his
Of course he
socialist grift. Hassan is now calling out Asmongold for talking like an African-American person because he said the word "we chillin'." Asmon responds absolutely roasting Hassan. Local lobotomy patient
That's pretty
iDubbbz
good.
is back, doubling down on his previous take, calling Penguin Zero part of the right-wing pipeline. He's calling Charlie an unprincipled rat who's secretly appealing to the right. He claims that he's still holding back and being empathetic.
I think Charlie is not really trying to appeal to anybody politically. I think he's kind of just talking about bullshit that he sees online constantly. And I think that it's just drama bait. Honestly, Charlie's a big guy, so they gotta pull him into drama so that they could have the clicks.
And he
They're
has
running
much
out.
more heat for Charlie. He finally admits he has a grudge against Charlie and says that apolitical people automatically support Nazis. Bruh. He then says that Charlie simply hasn't developed his woke mind as much as iDubbbz has. Yeah. Subscribe or you turn in.
Charlie hasn't brainwashed himself enough into being on our cult.
Into iCucks. Holy CTE, you're cooked.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin. Right, welcome back everybody. Another day, another dollar to farm off Diddy Piker and the Orbiters. So quick context, basically streamer Stable Ronaldo was showing his Twitch revenue because there's been a lot of drama regarding botting on Twitch and accusations are being thrown around. So a 19-month subscriber asked Hassan to show his revenue as well, you know, just to potentially clear his name, and he gets absolutely triggered. Hassan,
I wonder
on
why.
he refuses to show his Twitch revenue. Are you on crack?
Bot.
Wouldn't I view about my revenue too? Every single day? Wouldn't I view about this or no? Would I view about this or no? That's my question. Would I cheat the system? Would I view about my revenue too? I dare you. Ask streamers who you think that view bot show their revenue. Show it. Show it. Show the revenue.
Dude, it's so funny when a 19-month subscriber goes, "Can we see your revenue?" Are you on fucking crack cocaine, chatter? Do you want every neo-Nazi on the internet to nut at the same time? Just for fun. Are you fucking stupid? Actually, are you on crack? Like, Stable Ronaldo could make $1 million a month and no.
Do you not realize what we do here? Do you not realize everything's fake? I cannot show that. Everybody would cook me.
One will fucking bat an eye. I
For
can
being
make
fake.
$10 a month and everybody's gonna be like, dude, you are the biggest fucking grifter scumbag of all time. You know what my revenue is. It's my subscriptions. I don't have any other fucking form of revenue. Do with that information what you fucking will. Why the fuck would I ever show my back end to give every single psychopath a week-long jerk-off session to be like, Hassan is the only streamer that has ever made money streaming and it's bad.
Ah, another classic Diddy Piker meltdown. This is like my morning coffee, to be honest. I really can't live without it. It's like, you know, the SpongeBob narrator, another wonderful day in Bikini Bottom. But dude, I love how the chatter just asks like an innocent question, right? Like, hey, you know, the streamer showed his revenue. Why don't you do it, Hassan? Just for fun, just for fun. Don't shoot me, you know, don't eviscerate me. And Hassan goes, are you on crack? Are you actually crazy, bro? You know, Hassan, you can just say no. You know, if you're a content creator, people will constantly ask you this question, right? People have asked me to show my revenue, and my response is, no, I'm going to pass on that, you know? Instead, I don't actually go and call them crackheads, although that's a new one. Also, he always just has the most disingenuous framing. He's like, oh yeah, if I made $10 a month, people would get mad. No, nobody would be mad at that, Hassan. You're obviously just lying. You're obviously just being disingenuous. People get mad because you're a champagne socialist. You're a grifter who claims to speak for the working
He's
class.
a liar!
Voice the concerns of the working class.
He is a deceiver!
while giving false promises to people of this communist utopia that you're going to bring forward, while yourself engaging in the most disgusting display of luxury capitalism there actually is. I mean, come on, Gucci bags, supercars, mansions, luxury trips around the world, designer dogs that you shock into place for 10 hours a day like a literal prop, like a non-living thing. I mean, you really are no different from like an ultra capitalist like Bezos, you know? Pure responded, let's be real here, he doesn't show his Twitch revenue because it's inconvenient for maintaining his image as a socialist streamer. I mean, 100% on point. He knows that if he reveals his Twitch revenue and shows $1 million, his brainwashed fucking NPC audience is gonna look at that, and some of them at least will feel like, wait a minute, I thought you're fighting for the working class. They sort of know it, but when it's in front.
Why aren't you doing more? You could be doing more. You're just hoarding all of that streamer money, which really isn't all that much money compared to a celebrity that he's trying to be.
Of your face, then it becomes a little more like hard to contend with, right? I mean, could have just said it's nobody's business and left it at that. Exactly. He just has a meltdown. It's in his blood, you know? Also, you can see that he's sort of desperate to be relatable because he always tries to bring up the story of how he actually grew up broke and his family actually has no money. They were billionaires, but they lost.
I actually live below my means. Which is crazy to think, because if you think about the purchases he makes, the place he lives, if he's living below his means, how much money he's making.
Lost all their money, right? All 5 of his multi-million-dollar family members, all of them lost it at the same time conveniently and left Hasan Piker very broke, so much so that he could only afford 1 horse, guys. Moving on to Hasan's daily Asmongold crash out. Hasan calls Asmongold cringe for using AAVE and points out his low sub count. By the way, context, AAVE is African American Vernacular English.
Now, like, we on Kick right now, and we chilling at, I just look, we chilling at 10,000, we got 10,000 people watching on Kick. And that's just, bro, that's just on another, that's on a whole other separate broadcast. And so Lacey was crying about not getting paid. Well, it's because they don't pay for bots. That's the reason why.
Damn.
They don't pay for bots.
Yeah, of course he's gonna fucking say that. He's literally on a Kick contract. Kick streamers remind me of my suitors during my time in Crescent City, California. First time trying to acid for the first time seeing Red Dawn or Apocalypse Now. Okay. When Asmongold does AAVE, it fucking burns my soul, by the way. When we chilling on Kick right now. God damn, bro, you're fucking 40. You cannot be doing AAVE like this, okay? It just feels so fucking weird.
That's
torn between bot your numbers and get your.
They let us know that their anti-racism is fake. They are the real racists every single time. How about that?
Back from the corpos and the view botting adds credibility to ass reactionary takes. It's dude.
It's believable. Never saw.
I mean, even if he was fucking 20, it would still be cringe. No, that trust me, bro. Chatter is not wrong. Asmongold, I think, has like 5K subs or something on Twitch. When I botted, Twitch sent ads to bots. They know which are bots and eventually and block them. Yeah, Michael from Pennsylvania has doubled the number of subscribers that Asmongold has.
Yeah, Hasan is such a truthful guy here. So first off, Asmon literally says not to sub because he has enough money. And I don't even know what like the argument here is that Mike from PA is somehow more popular and has more motion than Asmongold. I mean, I don't even think Hasan is drinking that level of Kool-Aid, honestly. So just stop, man. This is pathetic.
Yeah.
Also, did I hear that?
He's just completely blowing smoke, just completely saying some rage bait bullshit that nobody believes for no reason.
Is that wrong, or does Hasan have a freaking soundboard now, bro?
They don't care.
Oh my god, this absolute cringe lord is gonna start spamming his fucking soundboard now. Yikes. Also, by the way, just because he keeps bringing up Asmongold's age, just gonna make it clear, Hasan and Asmongold are virtually the same age. Like, there's not much difference there. Like, it seems like it's 2 years or whatever. Bro's trying to act like he isn't also 40 years old. Like, dude, you don't know the unspoken rule of the internet. You can only say this shit if you're at least 5+ years in difference, okay? Then you can be like, oh, this person's old. Like, for example, I can call you a fucking dinosaur because you're a decade older than me, right? So that's allowed. That's allowed, okay? You can't say that shit to Asmongold. You're in the same group, okay? You're both in your 30s, all right? Also, Also, let me let you in on a little secret.
And
Hassan. It
bald.
was never about the age, okay? Nobody actually gives a shit if you're 50, 60, 30, 40, whatever, okay? It's usually because the person itself sucks, and you just want to sort of dunk on them in another flavorful way, so you bring up their age, okay? I don't actually hate fucking 30-year-olds or 60-year-olds. Everyone's gonna age. Everyone's gonna become that age eventually. It's really stupid to actually go by that logic. It's just funny to say, okay? When I see ultimate gooning lord, you know, thirst after e-girls, I have to point out that he's 60 years old, right? I just have to do it. It's not like I hate 60-year-olds, okay? It's just funny to do so, all right? And
I hate 60-year-olds, and I'm gonna hate myself when I'm 60.
you know, if there's some 15-year-olds in the Hassan's audience, they're obviously gonna call me a dinosaur, which is, you know, fair, whatever, sure. Tectone responds he's sensitive about using AAVE because his girlfriend Valkyrie got canceled for it. What a performative pussy. Yeah, that was like a whole drama back in the day. Low sub count. He literally says not to sub as he doesn't need the money and gets millions of views daily on multiple YouTube channels. You lost, dog zapper. Why does Hassan sound like he's crying all the time? His voice sounds so whiny. Yeah, you sort of build that up through multiple meltdowns every day. Right, so Asmin responds and roasts him for literally being the same age. Asmin responds after Hassan called him cringe for using AAVE. You're 42.
When Asmongold does AAVE, it fucking burns my soul, by the way. When we chilling on kick right now.
Is that AAVE? We chillin'? I don't think that's AAVE, is it? Like I have no idea.
And who cares?
I'm trying to even think about it.
God damn, bro. You're fucking 40. You cannot.
You're 42 and you're acting the same way. You're trying
He is 42.
to hang out with these guys in real life. You're going to their parties. You're calling me 40 when you're 40 and you're going to their parties in real life. Meanwhile, I'm talking the same way that I used to forever. What are you talking? You got more gray hair than I do. You're sitting around calling me old. What the f do you mean? What do you mean that I'm 40? This is ridiculous.
Not be doing AAVE like this.
It's not a big deal. I talk like this all the time.
It just feels so fucking weird.
Right, so
It's kind of a Southern thing to talk like that. It's not really even a black thing. And I think it is a black people thing because black people were typically in the South during the slavery days. And that's where they pretty much came from. They have a Southern type culture.
About this whole AAVE thing, I mean, personally, I don't really notice it that much. I don't think saying
It's
we
dumb.
chilling automatically makes you black. I think that's a very dumb thing to say. I mean, for some people, I would say that it is pretty obvious that they sort of grew up amongst.
I think it's more, I see it as more like bro speak. Like, I'm just chilling, bro. Like, that sounds like something a douchey white dude would say. I don't really picture a black dude saying chilling.
Certain people or in a certain culture, right? Like if you look at Nina Lynn, for example, and if you look at the way she speaks, I mean, it's clear that that's not a normal sort of upbringing. That's just not
It's
like a
forced.
normal thing. That's like not what the average person sort of goes through.
And she's also like actually Chinese, so she decided to have that accent.
Right, there's some wacky ass shit going on there, right? Or even like that Ray streamer, right? Or a bunch of these Twitch streamers, right? But I don't think Asmin particularly is trying to be fake or trying to act black or something like that. That's a ridiculous accusation. But yeah, we went over this, but Hassan calling Asmongold old is literally the Spider-Man meme. Okay, you're both the same age, right?
Imagine saying that Asmongold is doing that while also being one of the world's biggest virtue signalers.
And Hassan takes it one
So
step
full of
further.
shit.
He literally goes to these phase parties with a bunch of teenagers and 20-year-olds and goes, I'm the richest at the phase party. I'm richer than all of you. I'm so cool, you know? I'm the cool unk here, and I have more money than you. And by the way, that's completely false as well. I'm pretty sure half of these influencers got more dough than Hassan as well. But obviously, nobody's gonna sit there and argue with Hassan like, pull out your bank account right now. They're mostly just like, okay, old man, you got us, all right? You know, we might be younger, but you totally got the riches, surely, right? Surely. Such a fucking
Don't call me Shirley.
insecure loser, dude. So then Asmongold points out that Hassan, you know, he grew up like a rich boy.
Wasn't he dancing around yesterday with an airsoft gun, by the way? Wasn't he dancing around yesterday with an airsoft gun on his stream? And he's saying that me saying we chillin', like we chillin' is the most fucking white boy thing that you can say nowadays. What are you talking about? That's not even true. He getting mad the way I'm talking. Can you believe that? Oh my God. And you know what I think is funny is that Hassan doesn't understand this, but because, you know, he grew up, you know, rich little fancy boy up on his horse with a little special hat, you know, you know, sitting around there. And you don't understand this, but like you went to a working class high school, everybody talked like this. Everybody talked like this.
True.
This isn't something that's unique or different.
I think me and Asmongold went to similar high schools because I'm from Arkansas, he's from Texas, and we were middle class in middle class schools. I mean, I think he was kind of in the city, but I was in a small town, and I think they were very similar in size from what I recall from him talking about it. But like we did similar things growing up, so I understand.
Different or special for me. This is just the way everybody did things.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what this is. Remember that fancy hat he had on?
He doesn't know what it's like to be around real people. He's never been around real people. He never goes around real people. And when he does, he's like constantly acting like that he is the spectacle there.
Oh my God. And so, yeah, you don't even get it. And I don't know what to say. He's running out of things to get mad about. He is. It's normal lingo. We chillin'. This is some kind of a crazy thing to say. I don't even know why you would get mad about that. It's really, and then the fact, like, it gets me mad. He called me 40. Really, that shit gets me mad. Like, I'm not. I am not 40. Like, I'm halfway to 40, yeah. But, like, I'm not 40 yet. That did not happen.
Listen, guys, age is just a number. Wait, no, not like that, okay? You can't be saying that sentence in front of streamers these days, okay? That will just never end well, okay? Age is definitely a very important number, let's just say. But yeah, my honest thoughts on this is like, who actually cares? We're all gonna grow old and die. You might as well make some jokes while you're at it.
I'm not. I'm hopefully gonna die before I get old, somehow. I'm not gonna do it myself. I ain't gonna go out like that, but maybe an accident. Maybe I get assassinated. I don't know. We'll see.
It's never that deep.
We'll see how important I am politically.
It's never that deep, and if you're actually offended by jokes that make fun of your specific age group, then you need to lighten up. You honestly need to lighten up and learn to laugh at yourself a little bit.
Go outside.
And you know, it just brings me great joy that I can call Hassan a fucking dinosaur for the rest of my life, right? Because the age gap is gonna remain, right? So good old Diddy Piker here, emphasis on old. But yeah, I don't really know why Asmon is saying that Hassan grew up rich. Hassan did not grow up rich. He simply was froggen sized naturally, all right? He only ate one burger to become that size, and he only tortured one horse, okay? It's what every kid does. It's a coming of age thing, right? Every kid going through puberty, they have at least 15 horses, they have 6 stables, they have billionaire dads, multi-millionaire uncles, landlord moms, they have their own personal dog to shock. It's just how it is. People responded, everyone talked like that, and it's just Asmon looking particularly crackhead-ish. I guarantee Asmon grew up with more ghetto black kids than Hassan did. Bro, you just know Hassan was like the biggest racist. I mean, he is right now. We can tell, right? Never ask Hassan.
I don't think he even really was the biggest racist. I don't think he was racist. I think he didn't ever think about it ever being a thing. And then when he got around real black people, he was like, nope, I'm not going to do that. But everybody's pretending like black people are good, so I'm going to pretend black people are good. Well, I'm not saying black people are bad. I'm saying this is what Hassan thinks. I'm going to pretend black people are good, and really behind the scenes, I'm just going to stay away from them.
Like what he thinks about,
unless they're a streamer or I can get something out of them, you know, if they got something for me, if I can make a lot of money, definitely going to do that.
Black people. Never do it. Worst mistake of my life.
When it comes to black folks, you really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock. You think you have a pass in here to fucking speak like this? Go post a fucking clip about how much of a fucking white supremacist I am. Suck my dick. You don't understand black people. Shut the fuck up.
I wonder if Asmongold and Hassan will be in their 80s and still feuding. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
that kind of proved my point right there. That crash out that he did. I love it. I love it so much.
Imagine if the legendary
real
series
racist.
continues until I'm 80, bro. Holy shit. I might legitimately be like Warren Buffett at that point, bro. Like 80, holy unemployed. Imagine being unemployed your entire life. That's my goal, guys. Everyone who went to public school in the South talks like Asmongold, especially in Texas where the word y'all was basically invented. I would know, I grew up there. Hassan is probably the I have a black friend so it's okay guy IRL. No. Hassan is the opposite. He's like, oh no, I don't have a black friend, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? That wouldn't prove anything, all right? But also I don't, you know? Just gotta clarify. These two can't stop going after each other in the bedroom. Hassan puts on a black accent all the time, bro. He puts on every accent. Cue him singing in Chinese. Moving on to the Chibi review situation. Recap if you missed the last video. Basically, this random YouTuber got his life ruined because his wife cheated on him with his best friend. And he told a story about how he was going to end his life. And his friend sort of...
Was his friend also a YouTuber? I will never understand this. When you're with somebody who's famous and you decide to sleep with somebody who is lesser? Because how could you cheat on this guy? For one, this guy is cute as fuck. I mean, I don't know what his personality is like in a relationship, but he seems like a cool dude. From what I've heard, he's a cool dude behind the scenes, but that doesn't mean he was cool in a relationship, because a relationship, that's a little bit different. I don't know. I hope dude's doing good. Shit, I didn't realize that's what that was going to be about.
Saved him with a wellness check, and Hassan obviously responded just giddy with excitement because this guy was a Hassan critic or whatever. And yeah, he was just ecstatic that this guy wanted to end his life.
Brother, I'm gonna make fun of him a lot more, even after he openly reveals that he almost committed suicide here, okay?
Wow.
Well, turns out he actually had a lot.
If Hassan was down bad like Chibi reviews, I would feel bad for him. And I would say that I feel bad for him, but also make fun of him about other things. I would not be making fun of the fact that he was wanting to commit suicide. I would not make fun of that. Unless it was obviously fake. But coming from Chibi reviews, I know the video, I just didn't click on it and watch it. It's not fake. And that's a fucked up thing to go after. Hassan Piker, man, he is a fucked up individual. There's something ain't right with that boy.
More to say. This shit went on for like an hour straight of him just demonically celebrating another man wanting to end his life.
That's insane.
It gets worse? Why is there 9 more minutes? How could this get worse? Your fiance is getting her cheeks clapped. You go up, you're like, hey, I tried to commit suicide. She goes, peace, I'm out. That's crazy.
They don't care, basically, what my used to be best friend did. They prefer gaming with him, and I thought these guys were my friends, like I did. And they more or less, they just cared about gaming with him, and they didn't care about everything. They're completely okay with. He said he was moving down here in a few months, and he.
Yeah, to f your wife, bro. Hey, yo. He's like, bro, I heard she's a great time. That's why I'm moving down there. So sorry.
Like, I think he talks about too much of this stuff publicly, right? Because I think it eggs people on to harass him. But,
Yep.
you know, I do totally support him. I feel really bad for the guy.
Yeah, I agree. He shouldn't have made it public. But, like, who else is he going to talk to? I wouldn't have made this public.
I'll be honest.
Of course Asmongold supports him. What do you mean? Oh my God. Has there ever been a generational villain that Asmongold hasn't been on board with? Are you f***ing kidding me? Oh my God. Someone posted.
Everybody that's not with Hassan is a generational villain. What are you talking about, generational villain? Is he trying to imply that his dad did something or his mom did something, so he's the same type of person? Just like everybody else? Even though all that shit's not true. Also, I don't fucking get it, man. Hassan Piker, he's just one of the biggest pieces of shit on the internet.
Hashtag happy Valentine's Day to me and my bae.
I thought he had my back. He was there for me with the times of being harassed, and
Yeah, he had her back, all right. He had her back. I wish all of my ops a similar fate. It's so awesome. Bro, why are you even covering this? Ban.
Yeah, I love how one of his chatters literally calls him out saying, you know, be an adult, stop effing with the sound effect. Why are you covering this? And, you know, it's not a good look to basically encourage someone to neck themselves, right? Even if you don't like the guy. And he goes, banned instantly. I'm sorry, no dissenting opinions allowed. You know, whenever Hasan claims to be like a good person who wants the best for people, people just need to bring this up, okay? Because I hope everybody remembers this anytime Hasan is in a bad situation himself, right? Because that's just life, right? Eventually something bad is going to happen, and Hasan having his entire life broadcasted online as well, I don't think it's going to end well. You know, I don't think anyone is having any sympathy for Hasan after pulling.
Yeah. That's just going to give everybody else the right of way to go after Hasan for any kind of thing that happens to him in a similar situation. And he's going to be crying and talking about how people shouldn't be making fun of him. But, like, well, you threw that all away whenever you did that just then with Chibi Reviews. So, it's fair game.
This shit, because this is legitimately some cartoon villain shit, as I often say, and he tries to copy me, obviously, because he's watching the Legendary series. Because there really is nothing more villainous than this. I think the next step is to just mail him the rope, right? Moving on to iCucks. Now, recap, last time he was trying to go after Penguin Zero, calling him a path to the alt-right, basically saying he turns people into Nazis.
It's part of the pipeline, though. It's the same reason people wouldn't say Charlie, Moist Critical, is right-wing or like as ideologically fucked out there as like a Nick Fuentes or even Asmongold, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
He holds some space for the people in his audience who
Wait. I can't skirt over that. He compared Asmongold to Nick Fuentes for one, which is insane. But even more insane, he compared Charlie to Nick Fuentes. What? His brain is absolutely cooked.
Might have some differing opinions. He doesn't make it clear, like, I don't want you in my fucking community.
And basically everyone was trying to guess why he was acting like this, whether it was because Charlie made a video on Hasan shocking his dog, or whether it was because he called out iDubbbz' apology in the past for his old content. Well, turns out iDubbbz has actually doubled down, calling Charlie an unprincipled rat. It seems he's really desperate for that Charlie video and getting some clout. iDubbbz on Asmongold and Moist Critical.
It's one of these things that it's so hard for me to be critical of. Like, I'm even still being empathetic iDubbbz. I actually should have a lot more heat for people like Asmongold and Charlie, because it's so fucking obvious. It's so fucking and it's unfair even to lump Charlie in with Asmongold, right? Like, I have so much heat because it's like, you know what you're fucking doing. You know what you're doing. You guys are being rats. You're being like unprincipled rats. Like, I do not fucking care. And I think the audience knows as well, right? Like, the audience the audience wants to wear everyone as a fucking mech suit, and it's like, none of it really, the conversation is never really about like whether they're principled or not. It's whether they made the smart move.
Who cares?
Career-wise.
I actually prefer it when my celebrities and my creators stay out of politics as much as possible. I fucking hate politics. If I want politics, I will go to people who do politics. Charlie does not do politics, so I don't give a fuck.
Like, you haven't upset enough people. You haven't upset enough of the right people, which would actually be like a little bit of a
Right, so Charlie is an unprincipled rat now because he doesn't 100% agree with everything the radical far lefties are saying? Dude, oh my god, you are such a fucking white Hassan, bruh. How has this actually happened to you? By the way, this guy has no legs to stand on. Him calling anyone unprincipled or a rat when he secretly took money from charity from his event and he backstabbed his best friend to side with the Hassan orbiters. That is literally the definition of an unprincipled rat. Literally projecting just like Hassan. And he really has the audacity to go, I'm still being empathetic, you know, I'm actually cooling my jets right now. I actually have so much more heat, you know? I could have totally gone after Charlie and totally owned him, but the great iDubbbz is holding back his true power. Wow, iDubbbz, you're so brave, you're so courageous actually. You're so cool for staying calm in such a scenario. What a giant bitch, dude. Also, I love how he instantly caught himself. He's like, oh yeah, people like Asmongold and Charlie. Basically admitting that he sees them as the same thing, right? He sees Asmongold and Charlie on the same level. Basically, he's so far left that he thinks that, oh, they're just right-wing, right? They're just a path to the alt-right, essentially.
Yep. Anybody who doesn't agree with him, anybody who steps out of line an inch is far right. They get thrown out of the club.
When they're obviously completely different, Asmon actually does cover politics. Meanwhile, Charlie is mostly apolitical with
They're not completely different because they don't talk about left-wing politics. So they're all the same. Anybody who doesn't talk about left-wing politics is the same.
this content. So the fact that you even thought of them as the same just shows where his mindset's at, right? It was like a Freudian slip, right? He's just like, oh yeah, I shouldn't lump them in together. But you just exposed yourself. And it's crazy how he can hate Charlie when he has all the approved takes, right? He criticizes Trump. He criticizes Elon Musk over and over and over again. He criticizes ICE. He has like all the takes that are approved by the lefty community, but he's so radical that it's not enough for him. Like, how much more does he need to do before he's on your side, bro? Also, I love how he thinks that Charlie is dog whistling to his audience. He's like, oh yeah, you know what you're doing. Your audience knows what's happening. No, they don't, man. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. When he's talking about some random goofy stories or some random topics, it's not like an alt-right dog whistle. When he explicitly says how much he hates like Trump and Elon Musk and all this shit, yeah, I don't know how that's right-wing, dumbass. Well, I don't think iDubbbz has been making too many smart moves career-wise. iDubbbz complains, bad move. Sam Hyde documentary, Career Class 3, Content Copy 3, iDubbbz complaining to his critics, all bad moves. I don't view Charlie as a political commentator. Nobody does, unless you're brain dead like iDubbbz and Hassan. The same Charlie who defended trans people in the debate with Sneeko is criticizing ICE, made fun of Elon, blasting Trump for the EP files.
I actually should have a lot more heat for people like Asmongold and Charlie, because it's so fucking.
Please do. Please do. It'll be
I'd
great
love to see
content
it.
for me. Please complain about me.
I'd love to watch it.
You're being like unprincipled rats.
Sounds like cinema to me.
Like
this is the guy who was making fun of an Iranian for talking about how Iran is oppressive. Do you remember that? Him like sitting there with his girlfriend, like giggling to themselves about how uneducated and stupid this Iranian is for thinking that America is a more free country than Iran. This is the same guy. Yep. Do you enjoy the amount of space that you occupy in people's heads? I mean, I didn't even know, right? I had no idea he's like sitting there thinking about me. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Well, I don't know if the word is thinking, but like he's sitting there talking about me. Like I never really think of iDubbbz, if you really want me to be honest. I never really do, and you know, based on his viewer count, it seems like nobody else does either.
Right, so then he talks about being a lol.
I only think of him whenever he comes up in my timeline and somebody that I like is calling him a retard. Love it.
Cow comments on his Lolcow of the Year award.
I won the gracious award of Lolcow of the Year from somewhere, and unsurprisingly, the other Lolcow was
Why even bring
Hassan.
it up?
Oh my god!
Why even bring it up?
Lolcow. And that removed any amount of like, what is this out of my brain? I'm like, oh. They don't like progressive people. This is purely like a political decision entirely.
Yep, you got it, man. Surely it's a political decision. Surely it's not the fact that you are constantly fucking up on the internet that people make fun of you as a wonderful pastime, and you consistently show yourself to be a complete clown and cement yourself as lolcow status, right? Literally for over a year now, you're just constantly getting cooked because you can't stop opening your mouth and saying dumb shit and doing dumb shit. But of course, you're gonna make it about politics because that's all you know now. You're like this woke lefty, right? You have awakened and everyone is just stupid, right? They're just sleeping. And it's really tragic. Your entire existence is basically desperate to be accepted by people who hate you anyways. People who would cast you aside.
That's how it is on the left.
First sign of non-compliance, at the very first sign of,
And as soon as they decide that they want to step out of line an inch, then the same thing's gonna happen to them. They have to have all of the takes. They got to be on board with everything, and if they don't, then they're out. And they're not really even in anyway. They just think they are, but you know, you see where they're at. iDubbbz never should have gone down this path. He could have been one of the famous YouTubers. Now he's famous for being a lolcow.
of slight disagreement, the first sign of an alternate opinion. Hassan is a lolcow, that's true, and so are you. It's honestly hard watching this guy in 10-second increments. He's so pathetic. The fact that he's literally anyone watching his streams is impressive. More people hate watch him than actually watch him. They don't like progressive people. If he thinks he's progressive, he should definitely seek therapy. So apparently it gets worse. iDubbbz admits that he has a grudge against Charlie.
The only reason Ian brought up Charlie at all was because Charlie didn't like his apology video from 3 years ago.
It was almost more telling, Charlie's response to my apology, however many years ago, than the apology itself. I think it perfectly encapsulated even the point that I'm making here.
Yes, you heard that right. He's making these nonsensical statements because he's holding a grudge towards Charlie. Charlie didn't even say anything mean to him.
I've also created a culture of, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, you know, some of the videos I've made have been very, not edgy. I don't think they you know, some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel.
Okay, let's hear what Charlie has to say.
The way he talks about this content makes it sound like he used to f***ing murder puppies for these videos, which it was never that extreme. I very much...
He literally should have just come out and been like, I think they're mean and they kind of suck, and that's not what I'm going to make going forward. So there you go. And that's all he had to say, but instead he had to show that he had empathy, this newfound empathy. Fucking pathetic.
Much would
just virtue signal.
Edgy. It was 2016 edginess in all of its glory. The point of his content wasn't to be hateful or hurtful. He really was just trying to entertain. At least that's how I and the majority of people viewed it.
It's so funny to see Ian come in here and correct Charlie because he's essentially saying, no, Charlie, you don't understand. Those weren't jokes. It was meant to be hateful.
Yeah, I mean, that literally just makes him look worse. So instead of saying that I was obviously joking and, you know, the people, I don't know why people were calling me hateful, he goes, nah, you know, I was actually just a piece of shit. You know, when I was slinging all those slurs, I was actually just extremely racist, and I was actually just the biggest piece of shit. I mean, wow, iDubbbz, thanks for clarifying that you're a massive piece of shit. Nice. And the funniest thing is he's an even bigger tool now, and he's even more racist, right? So he's basically saying that, hey guys, I used to be far right, and now I'm far left. Wow, congrats iDubbbz, great, real growth here. Spoilers, they both suck. They both suck, iDubbbz. You're supposed to be reasonable and moderate, not an extremist fucking lunatic. Then he says that people defending Charlie are wrong.
Politics has broken his brain. He outright compares Charlie to Asmongold.
The person who posted it said, this is purity over actual politics. Charlie has been going at the Trump admin and their policies for months, actually years. Silly, missing the point entirely. You can clip Asmongold going after Trump or saying not nice things about Trump. That doesn't absolve people of anything.
If you think these two creators are the same at all,
He's so
you've never
cooked.
watched either
His
of them.
brain's so
fans
cooked.
point this out.
He is not a safe.
He actually doesn't even get it. I don't even know why he's talking about politics. Maybe he just thinks it's fun. Maybe he thinks that's what everybody's talking about, so he should talk about it. I don't understand because he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He would be better pressed to be part of the, you know, part of the in crowd, but just never talk about it and just talk about bullshit and react to TV shows and stuff. Because he just looks like a fucking idiot. He'd probably do better if he just reacted to movies and TV shows and music.
safe space for the alt-right at all. Sure he is. There's a lot of places that are a safe space. Just by being, like, you know, non-political a lot of the time, like, that's doing enough.
So because Charlie reviews movies and video games, you know, non-political content, that makes him a safe space for alt-righters. Genuinely, this guy eating pickles in the sewers was more intelligent content than what he puts out now. Yo, this is making me alt-right. 13 million people watch this. 13 million new Nick Fuentes viewers thanks to Ian.
So wait a minute. He's legitimately saying that being non-political is a safe space for the alt-right. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, bro, you're not even allowed to be neutral among the Hassan orbiters. You're not even...
He actually doesn't even know what he's talking about. He just knows what to say because that's part of the narrative. That's part of the message. You have to be part of the club.
allowed to be apolitical. This is just iDubbbz admitting that, oh, okay, you basically support Nazis if you decide to be neutral and you don't fully 100% agree with them. And this is what we've been saying all this time, right? These people have no charitability. These people have no, like, logical thinking at all. They are absolute extremists who have this one-way thinking. I mean, bro, I'm not even saying this jokingly. Like, I think you need brain surgery. Like, you are not healthy at this point. Here's the...
I think brain surgery might be the problem because he got lobotomized.
The facts of the matter. We don't give a fuck about politics, and being neutral is a perfectly valid stance, okay? If you just want to enjoy life, you don't want to care about politics, and you don't want to be a miserable sack of shit like these people, you are perfectly okay to do that. You can just enjoy whatever it is you want to enjoy, your own unique profession, your own, like, entertainment, etc, etc. You don't need to care about the shit, bro. And at least people here on the apolitical side are not gonna, like, hound you over that. Meanwhile, iDubbbz will drag you over the coals for daring to not take part in this. So then he does the classic and calls Charlie like a fence rider, and then he says that he should just come out and basically defend iDubbbz.
You can get on some freak's hit list online, and you do not, like, you can't say that these f***ing fence riders don't see what's going on online. They see how I've been treated by a lot of the people who I've said, no, I don't f*** with you. If you...
But you did that to yourself by talking about politics constantly. I don't get it, man. I do get it. I don't, but I do. I mean, I get where he's coming from, what he's trying to get at. I don't know why he's doing it. Because it's not helping him. It's getting him nowhere.
Want this out of me. I don't f with your politics.
He's not even saying anything.
And by taking that hardline stance, they can see it. They can see it, and they're like, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm gonna dance. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fucking dance. I think people need to stop getting so fucking defensive over, you know, just acknowledging that someone's part of the pipeline. It doesn't mean that you're the shittiest person online. I would hang out with Moist Critical 1,000 times over all of the people further down the pipeline. Like, you know. And I think he has the capability of changing, right?
Show an example of him making pipeline content that he doesn't. I genuinely think Ian has no idea what kind of content Charlie makes. He says he's being empathetic, but he's just being a moron.
Like, I'm even still being empathetic iDubbbz.
Oh my god, dude. It's crazy that you call him a fence rider and then somehow say that he's supporting the alt-right. And let me just break it down. The implication here is that if you don't defend iDubbbz, you're basically like a Nazi. Like, that is just the implication here, right? And honestly, what a foolproof plan, right? So basically, iDubbbz here will slander you and harass you unless you actually respond to me and defend me against the criticism from the internet. What a fucking loser. By the way, if it wasn't obvious, doing all of this shit is not helping your case, iDubbbz. I mean, I don't even think Charlie is watching this, but on the off chance that he's actually watching any of this, you're not portraying yourself as like a reasonable person that should be listened to. You're basically hounding him for literally doing nothing, right? Like, he's just in his lane playing video games, right? And the only time he ever does talk about politics is literally opinions that are approved by you guys. He hates ICE, he hates Trump, he hates Elon Musk, okay? Those are all the approved takes by your side, and still you hate it. I mean, like, when is it enough? Holy fuck, dude. Just chill out and stop harassing people. And I can't get over the fact that this is all because he decided to have an opinion on iDubbbz's apology and potentially criticize his son for
Can't have
shocking
an
his dog,
opinion
right? Something that is
to yourself.
completely apolitical, something that anyone.
The opinions are my own. Crowd actually just come up with their opinions by watching the same people that tell them what to think.
With the brain cell would actually do, but no, apparently just not allowed. So then a chatter points out exactly this, that Charlie has a bunch of lefty opinions as well.
I'm able to catch your live stream. I'm gonna ask what your Moist Critical take was early in the stream, though. I had to wait because I'm new to the stream. Sorry, I thought Charlie condemned Palestine, condemned ICE for the Alex Pretty incident, and routinely says that Trump administration is covering up pedophiles. Is Charlie right-wing? I've been watching his content for years and thought he aligned with you and Hassan most of the time.
He does.
I mean, he might do it most of the time. I'm not exactly sure.
Then why are you making up all of this about him? You know what, Ian has...
You can't be most of the time aligned. You have to be exactly aligned. That's what I always say. That's what I've been saying. It does not matter. You can't have any kind of different take.
Changed. He's
Then you're out of the
for
club.
Worse. In the span of only 2 days, Ian has lied about Charlie's content while admitting to not watching it. He's doubled down on his slanderous content cop video and is now collaborating with people who also make slanderous videos. But remember, it's everyone else who should change, not him.
And I think he has the capability of changing, right? I will say, though, like, I don't think a lot of them are quite as... I don't think a lot of them have developed their woke mind as much as me.
Oh
That's
my
such
god,
an insane
I think
thing
I'm
to
gonna
say.
die of cringe. This man, there's no way he just said that. I don't think they have developed their woke mind as much as me. Oh, no. Please tell me you're trolling. Please tell me this is some
I don't think he
reality. There's no way, bro. 2016 iDubbbz might have actually jumped if he knew that he was gonna turn into this. I mean, there's just no way this is a real person, bro. If you were like a comic book villain, you would be called the Wokenator. Like, you know when Elon Musk says that cringe shit of like, the woke mind virus is gonna take over? Like, I sort of get it now when you look at iDubbbz, bro. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, you are unironically making his cringe statements actually true now. Like, if people
Yes,
like iDubbbz
they've been
exist,
true.
then the woke mind virus 100% exists. Because that, like, that's how he's describing himself unironically.
No, he is right
I just
about that.
imagine he's in like his fucking basement or whatever going, your woke power level is nowhere near mine, Charlie boy. You're a level 1 noob. I'm a level 99 mafia boss. What a flippin' loser, dude. Holy. I think the main takeaway here is to never take up boxing because you will get brain damage and ruin your life. Okay, I'm obviously kidding. Boxing can be a great way to stay in shape and stuff like that. But, you know, sometimes you can come out on the other side like this, right? So just be careful, right? But yeah, I feel like we need like a
Lobotomized.
Meat Canyon episode on this guy.
Come
Like,
out
woke
lobotomized.
final boss.
I think he probably got punched so hard that his brain melted out of his ears. It turned to mush. It rattled around so much that it just mushed it up like a blender, and it just leaked out.
Pure responded, iDubbbz should have squatted 225 below parallel and this video wouldn't have been made. Moist Critical is what iDubbbz wishes he turned out to be. He's stoic, he's racist, he's lobotomized. I don't care for Charlie's content, but it's very weird seeing iDubbbz's public reputation spiral into non-existence when 3 years ago, everyone was shitting on Charlie for having the most lukewarm critical take on iDubbbz's terrible apology video. Yeah, no, the start of the Legendary
Critical take.
series, like my first video sort of criticizing iDubbbz, it actually had like a 80% like ratio or something. There were actually people still sort of diehard defending iDubbbz, but I knew I was right. I predicted the downfall right from the first episode because I'm the future predictor. We simply get things right on this channel, although
Well, it's easy to predict because these people keep doing stupid shit, saying stupid shit, and they never take accountability for anything, and they just keep getting worse.
iDubbbz was a Pretty easy prediction, I'd say. Dying Man takes his last shots, misses terribly. Calling Charlie right wing is absurd. I don't know where the fuck they're getting that shit, bruh. Ian being mad at Charlie for not hosting an echo chamber is ridiculous. The pipeline is pure nonsense. Crawling leads to walking. Walking leads to running. Running leads to running into people. Crawlers need to condemn walkers to prevent those who run into people. I mean, this pretty much sums it up. That's basically what's happening. Now click this video or you get CTE. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Dude, like, I don't think Twitch is ever going to get better. I think they're just going to keep getting worse until they finally get shut down or something. I don't know. Something's got to give, dude. Because, like, this shit is crazy. And it's just like the Twitch streamers. I don't hear about really Kick streamers doing anything crazy other than the view botting thing. Like, I see some clips about Aiden Ross and XQC every once in a while, but usually I tend to just see that it's Twitch streamers that are being retards. Sure, you get criminals on Kick, but like that stuff, those people actually get stuff happen to them. You know, for one, they're being actual criminals. Like, I think Twitch just needs to clean up their platform because it's not just about criminals, it's about a vibe, it's about a culture. And if your culture is toxic, if your culture sucks, then nobody wants to be a part of it. I know I don't want to be a part of it. I'm streaming to Twitch, but I'm not like in that culture, you know? I really just don't get it. I don't get why these people do this to themselves, especially knowing that they've only got a few years left until the next cycle of content creators comes through, and they're not going to be relevant anymore, and people are going to go through their entire catalog and basically find all of the bullshit and compile it all together for drama content like this channel. Well, I don't really do drama content. I'm more of like a slop reaction channel that reacts to the drama content. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end tonight's stream. I think I'm going to stream like this from now on. Tell me how you like it. Tell me if you like this gameplay stuff up in the corner. Even if you don't like it, I'll take the gameplay down and just be playing games over here on this other screen and just have my normal reactions. But I don't want to do reactions sitting there anymore. I feel like I could be doing so much more. Like doing gameplay and streams and commentary all at the same time. I've got Rumble Wallet linked if you want to, you know, send me something through the Rumble Wallet. If not, I got other ways. You can rant. You can give a super thanks. It all goes to the farm. We need the funds right now. We're trying to do as much as we possibly can to make it as cool as we can. We've got everything that we need. Now we just got to get things that we want to make things better. And it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to make content around it. And I don't know what the channel's going to be called, but I'm replacing one of my dead channels with it. And I'm going to check out Steam right immediately after this stream and see what their Discord function is like, because I might be moving over there. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow night. I think I'm going to play Baldur's Gate 3 by itself. And then I'm going to do a stream like this with whatever game, probably Terraria, maybe Civilization 5 over in the corner. Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow at 9, and then typical time, midnight for the reaction stream. Be there, be square.